Hi, I'm Hannah, founder of Love to Dream. This lesson is all about swaddling and dressing your baby for optimum sleep. And I'm joined by our sleep angel, Courtney. Now, for centuries, mothers have swaddled their babies to help them settle and sleep better. Images of swaddled babies have even appeared on frescoes from ancient Egyptian times. Today, in many countries around the world, as soon as you give birth to your baby, you'll see nurses wrapping them up in blankets, swaddling them, so they stay warm and feel secure, like they're still in the womb.
And that's because there are lots of benefits to swaddling. Many have been demonstrated over the years in various medical studies. Here are some of the facts that have come out of the studies. Newborns have a strong startle reflex that can wake them when they sleep, so swaddling helps minimise this distraction. Swaddled babies sleep better. This is a well-documented fact. One study showed that swaddling increases an infant's sleep efficiency, which means sleeping longer, and non-rapid eye movement sleep, leading to deeper, more peaceful sleep. Swaddled babies also soothe better. So when compared with massage, excessively crying infants cry less when swaddled, and swaddling can soothe pain in infants as well. Swaddling can also become a very useful and important sleep association for your baby. If you swaddle your baby for all daytime naps and their overnight sleep, it actually teaches them that wherever they are swaddled, it's time for sleep. So it's a really good sleep cue.
So at the end of their uptime, when you start to see their tired signs, swaddle your baby and put them in their cot or crib while they're sleepy, but still awake. Give them the cue that it's sleep time. In the morning or throughout the day, when they wake up and it's time for them to be awake, take them out of the swaddle.
Because when bub wakes for feeds overnight, you want to unswaddle them to feed, change and burp them. And then when it's time to put them back down to sleep, pop them back into that swaddle and put them into their cot, very sleepy but still awake. That way they're getting that consistent sleep cue that it's time to go down to sleep. Never leave a baby in their swaddle for the whole day. Use it only for sleep time.
That's right, Courtney. And over time, they start to associate tiredness with sleep instead of with the swaddle, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is important because once your baby starts showing signs of rolling, you need to transition them to arms-free sleep so that they can free themselves from any position that is uncomfortable or potentially unsafe for them. This can be as early as 8 weeks for some babies.
So the big question, how do you swaddle a baby? When you're in the hospital with your newborn, the midwives and nurses teach you various ways to swaddle your baby. There are so many different techniques.
Yeah, absolutely. And some parents find it too hard to wrap. And if a bub is a bit of a wriggler, we know ones like that, often getting out of their swaddle, it can be overwhelming to keep rewrapping them at various times throughout the night. Hannah, you found this out the hard way.
I really did. When I had my son, I struggled with sleep and with traditional swaddling. Was it too tight? Was it not tight enough? Was he cold? Was he hot? I often would walk into his room and the wrap had unravelled and it had gone up over his face, which was a bit scary. I tried many different wrapping techniques and nothing worked for me. I also found that our son seemed to sleep better with his arms up rather than wrapped against his body. So I went on a big search, reading as much as I could. And I found that studies show that babies sleep better and longer if swaddled. And I also saw that many babies really can sleep better if their arms are in a more natural position up by their face so that they can use their hands to rub their cheeks or suck on for self-soothing. And so I guess that is how Swaddle Up was born. Necessity really is the mother of invention.
It also gives bubs a good range of motion compared to traditional swaddling methods, but it's not loose and there's no unnecessary fabric, so they still feel secure and the startle reflex isn't affecting their sleep. They can stay nice and warm without extra blankets, which of course is a no-no.
Can I do a bit of a plug for my wonderful products? There are different sizes and togs or fabric weights for different seasons too. So you can make sure bub's temperature is just right, which is really important. And I know a lot of parents have wanted to know, are our products hip healthy? Well, they are. They're certified hip healthy, proper hip development. We've also got Swaddle Up for babies being treated for hip dysplasia.
I love the Genius Twin Zipper for easy nappy or diaper changes for the middle of the night. You don't have to disrupt them too much for a quick change. And so like we touched on before, when your baby starts to show the signs of rolling, it's time to transition them to arms-free sleep, regardless of the swaddling technique or products you're using.
Now, I know what many might be thinking. You've just got your baby sleeping and now you have to make a change to their sleep routine. I know the idea can be really daunting, but it's absolutely necessary for their safety and development. Why? Because when a baby's showing signs of rolling, that means developmentally they're ready to move. So you don't want to inhibit this. Also, they need the freedom of their arms to be able to push off the mattress and roll back onto their back if that's what they want to do.
So getting ready to roll. Actually, I think you are ready for a sleep. What do you think? I might swaddle her and pop her down to sleep. Is that
Great
okay?
idea.
Great. Sorry about that. So we were talking about when Bub is getting ready to roll. Now this is a really exciting time and an important step in a baby's motor development. So having Bub's arms free means they can build up the strength in their arms, neck and back, and it gives them other little opportunities for incidental movement and play while they're falling asleep and waking up, which gets their little fingers, hands and arms exploring and supporting that fine motor development. So when's the right time to make this transition and how can you tell? As soon as your baby shows signs of getting ready to roll, it's time. These signs might include starting to roll over during playtime, using arms to push up during tummy time. Their startle reflex might have decreased or disappeared completely. They can lift their legs and flop to the side. They can also Houdini out of a traditional swaddle. And of course, they attempt to roll when swaddled. If your baby is showing one or more of these signs, it's time to transition to arms free completely. And this can happen as early as 8 weeks, so be prepared.
And when you do stop swaddling, some bubs might protest a little about the change. They're not used to all that room in a larger sleeping bag. But don't feel like you have to go cold turkey with both arms out. You can still protect everyone's precious sleep by making the transition slowly. And we have a genius solution that keeps Bub feeling snug and secure in the torso, echoing how they felt in the swaddle. This is the Love to Dream transition bag and transition suit. You can use them to transition from any type of swaddle or swaddling technique you use. The transition bag has specially designed zip-off wings, and the transition suit comes with the same zip-off wings, plus our zip-on 3/4 self-soothing sleeves. To transition, either remove the wings or use the 3/4 self-soothing sleeves. They're really great for bubs who are resistant to transitioning with their arms completely free when you have zipped off the wings.
Moving to arms-free sleep is a process, so don't feel that you and Bub need to nail it straight away. Here are some tips to help make the transition a smoother one for you and Bub. Start with their day sleeps first, so nighttime isn't too disrupted first to begin with. Once your baby is asleep, gently release one arm from being swaddled, and if you're using a swaddle-up transition bag, zip off one wing so that one arm is completely free. If you're using the swaddle-up transition suit, use the 3/4 sleeves. And if you're using a traditional swaddle, you may need to swaddle your baby in the way they're used to and then gently unwrap an arm each time. After a few successful naps, release the second arm as well.
Some babies will transition to arms-free sleep easier than others. So if your little one is taking a little longer than you hoped or being a little fussy about it, don't fret. Stick with it. Take it slowly and your bub will get there soon enough. Look for the lesson summary below this video. You'll find extra information links and can download printable guides to refer back to when you need them. You'll also find more information about the products featured in this video.